All right, good morning, everybody. So I see that. Uh, okay. The reason that I said earlier, like that the video I did 2 days ago, um, that I thought that Chantal's channel was removed is because I couldn't find it, right? But I came across it again this morning, and it is still up, and people are still commenting on her community tabs and everything. But she has not posted anything else. So with that out of the way, um, that's not what this is about. This is going to be about legal mindset. Legal mindset decided to react to what's currently going on with Chantal and barbecue chillin', um, who has also gone by barbecue chicken. Did like a highlight thing. So let's see what this is. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. Wow. La 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 la. This is so ridiculous. Okay.
This is entirely new to me. So as of let's say 72 hours ago, I didn't know much at all about this woman other than what had been described to me in emails, etc. So I put a poll in the chat. Have you heard of Foodie Beauty? And 57% of you in the chat right now. We have 1,000, almost 1,700 votes. 57% know more than I do because they say you know everything about her. So you know more than I do, 57% of the chat. What people should know, some of you are going to be new to my channel, is I try to focus on the legal stuff. Now, there are points at which stuff that's non-legal, that may be considered quote-unquote drama, is relevant to the legal side, but I am going to focus on the law today because I will say this. When I look at the length of Reddit threads or Kiwi Farms threads, she is up there in one of the longest detailed individuals on the internet, up there with Christian Western Chandler, Nicholas Rekieta, way up there in terms of information. So there's not a way possible that I can go through a 10K page a thread on a forum to get all the information, but I did try to get the information related to this last incident in Kuwait and the one that can get her in legal trouble, the one that I think is the most chance to get her in legal trouble, because it's pretty clear, it's straightforward, and it's per se. So this is the one that I think has the most legal relevance, the most legal teeth to it. However, I probably am going to have a different opinion than other people on the internet. So that's why it's legal mindset. That's why you guys are here. Zephyr for 5 says, unless you can tell us she will go to jail, I don't think you can surprise us jaded Crow World followers. Consequences don't seem to happen to Chanel and Chantal. And that actually happens very often with a lot of online content creators, because the thing is, you can be arrested for a lot, but whether you will
you can
be is a different case. There's a lot of things that can potentially get you in trouble, but whether or not they actually get you in trouble is the frustrating thing. And sometimes, especially with people streaming, you see them do things over and over. And this is what I saw in the IRL world with the IRL streamers. They repeatedly commit crimes, repeatedly. But those crimes, they kind of get looked past. They kind of get ignored. People don't care. People say, it's too minor. It's petty, whatever. Or they say, oh, we have better things to do. And they don't get in trouble for that case. The reason why I'm going to focus on the kitten thing, and we're focusing on the kittens today, because I like kittens, is because I think that one is pretty damn clear. And I think that we have the evidence we need to have. And from my standpoint of looking at it on the outside, once again, not a Kuwaiti lawyer, just somebody who understands how the law works in general, right? And has seen this happen in many countries around the world. As someone who lives in Asia, as someone who deals with immigration law, I see these things happen regularly and how they're dealt with. I think there are things here that are.
An ad. Let's unbox it. Four Sigmatic is a mushroom-based
that are actionable, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Necross says, can't wait to hear your take. She's a train wreck that's been daring people to report her for the authorities for years. Hope you saw her video when she's acting all high and mighty over Vitaly. Hi, Girl World. I did not. So you're going to need to send me that one, because I did not see her taunting about Vitaly. I did not see that. Can you please send that to me? Can you or tag me in that? I have not seen that one. I did not see that one. That's an interesting crossover. 50% of you already know Foodie Beauty is Chantal Olive Marie Serrault. Chantal Al Refay, I believe.
Yep, Chantal Olive Marie Saralt slash Chantal Alrefe, aka Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, Chantal Marie, Chinny Klotzo, etc. Born March 28th, 1984 in Canada. Created YouTube in 2014, initially attempted beauty channel, moved to mukbang type content.
Once again, I may butcher these pronunciations, so get me if I'm wrong. She's aka Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, Chantal Marie, Chinny Klotzo. There are a lot of other nicknames for this girl, but I'm just going to call her Foodie Beauty or Foodie for this one. She was born in Canada, March 28, 1984. She looks way older than her age, I will say that. She's older than me. That's one. She created her YouTube in 2014. Apparently, at first, it was a beauty channel, moved on to be mukbang type content. Also, she's obviously had a bit of a transformation here from, well, you know, this to this.
Okay, yeah. What's this? The fact that he got the picture where her OF Fupa picture is the background is sending me.
From what I hear, a revert, or convert revert over here and converting to Islam.
Oh, yes.
I trolled the farms. I read what you guys said. I went back more than 5 pages, guys. There are a lot of accusations against her. And I do not have time on this stream, or really any one stream, to go through everything that has been leveled against her legally and say whether it's true or untrue, or whether I think there's enough evidence to support that or to file something, or whether there's lack of evidence or something like that. And by the way, these are all in Canada. Once again, I'm not a Canadian lawyer. I'm an American lawyer. But I go in the...
Oh, yes. There are a lot of wild accusations about her on the farms. Yup, absolutely.
The presumptions of, okay, well, generally, you want a good amount of evidence here. Does this look okay or not? Generally, right? In my general opinion, not specific legal opinion. But that said, there are a lot of things that are leveled against him, and I am aware of many of those accusations. Many of them don't look good. There's a lot of stuff that deals with dishonesty. There's a lot of stuff deals with potential substances. There's a lot of behavioral issues which aren't necessarily legal. There's a lot of that stuff in her background. So I am aware, understand, that very vile, disgusting behavior, in fact, really like odious, nasty behavior, is not always illegal. It's not necessarily illegal, particularly in the United States and Canada. It is not illegal to be an asshole, a jerk, a liar. Provided, asterisk.
Correct.
You're not lying to the government, right? You're not lying to law enforcement. And you're not lying in any way that would constitute a crime. And what we have today is a case where she crossed the line with those behaviors. And I think we are very used to, in the West, getting away with a lot of behaviors. And there's a lot of behaviors we can get away with that we just normalize. And that we say, oh, yeah, you know, content creators lie about X, Y, Z all the time.
Yeah.
And they get away with it. They get away with it all the time. And when you move countries, and I can say this as a content creator myself, it's very funny. You now have to abide by different laws. So content creators in Kuwait, or here I'm in Thailand, or Japan, Philippines, China, all have to move differently because we're all under the thumb of different governments. And there are certain things in different governments that you just can't mess with. Or Pippi says it.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the Kuwaiti legal system, because I don't know if you guys knew this today, but you're going to get educated.
Yeah. The legal system in Kuwait. Kuwait has a mixed legal system blending traditions. French civil law system, English common law system, Egyptian civil law, Sharia law, family law for Muslim residents, strong interplay between regulatory bodies and the judiciary. Thus, interpretations can change rapidly, known for having the most secular commercial law in the Gulf region.
The Kuwaiti legal system, let's talk about that. It is a mixed legal system. So it is blending different legal traditions, which makes it kind of a cluster. It blends French civil law and English common law, which are two systems which are a whole mess, and that's just two. Oh, wait. We're going to throw in Egyptian law and Sharia law. Now, Sharia is only for the family. I know people like panic when they say Sharia or Islamic law. It's only for family law and only for Muslims. So we're going to ignore the Sharia part because that's not really relevant. But it's really the French law, English, and Egyptian that blend to form their law. And what this results in is they get a lot of interplay. There's a lot of legal interplay between regulatory bodies and the judiciary. So what this means is interpretations change rapidly. And this is going to play in with Foodie Beauty, because there was a recent interpretation and a change that could completely screw her over. And we're going to talk about that today. It's a complete 180 shift. And one thing you got to know is you've got to be able to be on top of changes in the law that are put out, whether they're in the court system or put out by these regulatory bodies. A regulatory body is something like we have in the U.S., imagine the FDA or whatever, right? And when they put out a new recommendation or a guideline, imagine if you had to follow that immediately, that could come out with a quicker time frame, and that could completely change everything and make things illegal. That's what we're dealing with in Kuwait. We're dealing with a timeline that's really expedited, where the laws can change, and you have to be very careful about those changes. This is what you call the honeymoon phase. When you go to any new country, and I know this, I've been to over 100 countries.
Yep. Foodie Beauty's Kuwait adventure then versus how it's going now. Sheikh Jabir Al Ahmad Al Sabah Causeway.
When you go to any country, all you see in the beginning is the really nice stuff. You're blinded by the cool stuff and how it's different and unique and special and how it's so much better than your home country. That is a normal thing that happens in the beginning when people first go to a country. And she hits what I would call the wall. And it happens between 1 and 3 years. But you'll see this.
We'll connect us to the north side.
Most people have no clue that the best way to make money online in 2025 is not with junk Chinese products.
We'll connect us to the north side of Kuwait. It will take about an hour and a half to traverse. Beautiful, calming scenery. Let's go. Also, here's the surprise you've been waiting for.
Hi guys, how are you?
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward past the pigeon voice here. But let's go here. Okay, let's watch. She's talking more about it.
What? Quiet.
I can't hear you. We can do it.
Oh, well, that's in any environment, but wow. Seriously, the silence. If anything to come out here for, the silence, the beautiful nature. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So that's her partner there. So I don't doubt that she was genuinely happy about this at the moment, but it's just funny how quickly things can change. Of course, she's also happy about the food, right?
Yeah.
So here's her before, just loving Kuwait, loving it. It's the best place ever. She gets Middle Eastern Burger King. Middle Eastern Burger King is awesome.
Oh yes.
What
right.
Now?
That's just honestly how I feel. And I blame the internet for that. And I blame myself for exposing myself to the internet. But then I come on here and I talk to you lovely people. And it gives me a bit of
quick note here. I do not feel sorry for content creators for having to deal with the internet. People always like the attention that the internet gives, but they don't like the spotlight it puts on themselves. So you must, as a content creator, accept the benefit and the burden. That's my personal opinion.
Yes, yes.
It's not a legal opinion, but it's my personal opinion that if you choose to be a content creator, there are both boons and there are burdens, and you must accept both. You must accept both.
Yeah, you got to accept the good. You got to accept the bad.
Including the spotlight that puts in your life.
Yeah, no, I'm getting in shit. I bet you I'm going to get in crap for trying to be nice and help them. If it weren't for me, they even use my pictures on the page. This
is, by the way, this is what we on our channel call coping and seething. It is perhaps the outro. So just understand, this is very much within the coping and seething bracket.
How is it illegal, for me to take the cat and people said they would help?
Okay, so here's the part where we get to. So this is the part where I was building up to. Thank you for, it finally gets here. Jesus, she rambles a lot. So the kitten, the cat. So she goes and she sees a cat on the street. She picks it up and separates it from its mother and takes that cat. So we got the video here. And once again, as the very well edited video here says, everyone tried to warn her. Chat tried to warn her.
With money to bring him to the vet.
Yep.
I know.
People say don't do that.
People say don't do that. So when I have any of my chat that says don't do that, I stop for a second and I'd be like, okay, well, why? And I just ask, okay, is it a good reason why or a bad reason why? Are you telling me if people are saying this is illegal, maybe I should check the law?
You better not. It's a huge mistake.
You better not. It's a big mistake. People are saying don't do that. I think that's where you do check.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of checking around.
Mrs. Python. Please stop her.
So, yeah, there's Salah, please stop her. So, people saying, hey, you got to step up and stop her, because technically, towards this, could be accomplice to that if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, right? That's what, the cat getaway driver.
Yep.
I use my platform to help. Good luck. Come send the law after me. I'm getting out of here. Honestly, I'm not staying
here.
There you go. There's the flip.
Canada Beef for life. That's it. Because I'm not staying.
Canada for life. So all of that stuff, it's so awesome. It's quiet. Look at it's got a cool bridge. They got cool Burger King. And then, nope, Canada, I'm out. It's done. And it's easy to see that flip. That's the flip I'm talking about. That's what I've seen so many times where people are just like, yep, nope, I'm done.
And somewhere where I get in legal trouble for helping a kitten from dying. No way. Nope.
There are multiple countries where you cannot interfere with the wildlife, even if it's dying. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Some can be cultural, some can be religious, some can be environmental. For example, by humans interfering in the environment or stepping into the environment, we are messing with the natural flow of nature, right? If you intercept, let's say, if you kill a wolf that was going to eat a deer, right? You mess with the whole ecosystem, and that can have wild consequences, right? So I mean, there's reasons why, plenty of reasons why a government might say, hey, you can't do X, Y, or Z, right? Or you shouldn't be the one to do X, Y, or Z.
I don't know. If I can't have the freedom to say what I need to say here, I'm out.
Okay, let me say that one. Let me put that back. This is a very good comment. This is a very good comment.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. If I can't have the freedom to say what I need to say here, I'm out.
That one made me laugh. That last one right there.
If she can't have the freedom to say what she needs to say, she's out. Well, hey, it's your own fault.
Freedom to say what I need to say. She should have done a little research on the countries where she's going about freedom to say what she needs to say.
Yeah.
Because outside of Canada, the United States, parts of Western Europe, you cannot say everything you want to say. There are definitely things in the majority of the countries in the world. The majority. Let me say that real quick. The majority of the countries in the world. You cannot just say anything you want to say. You feel like saying.
Yeah.
That is the default on the planet Earth. It is a very rare minority of places where you can say what you want to say. And to be fair, and people are pointing this out, there's certain things in the West you can't say. We're not going into it. I'm not going to get political. We're not doing all that today, guys. But even in the very few places where you can say a lot, you can say almost anything. Let's put it that way. You can say almost anything, right? Those are the minority. And Kuwait is, and this is no dig on Kuwait. Once again, there's plenty of awesome countries that have really restrictive laws regarding speech, right? But they're awesome, and they might have really cool nature. They might be really fun places to live. But they're not places to go if you are somebody who wants to say whatever you feel without regard to the culture. Kidnapped for 99 cents. Also, she's subjecting her husband and his family to consequence and backlash. She fled to Canada and left him there to face all that. She's disgusting. Her husband is not a citizen of Kuwait either. That's an important fact. That's a very important fact. Because if he is not a citizen of Kuwait, there's a lot of rights he may not have in their system. There's something called standing, which is the ability to come before the court. And also, in terms of your defensive rights, now I'm not fully familiar with the criminal system, but in many systems, including in the United States, if you are a non-citizen, you're not subject to the same level of protections that citizens are in terms of the consequences for your actions. Ruthie for 499 says, Foodie lied in the police reports. Even freedom of speech can't keep her out of trouble. Now, this is a big one.
Foodie, yes. Chantal did definitely 100% indeed lie in the reports that she made to the police. Even freedom of speech can't keep her out of trouble. Nope.
So, Ruthie, if this is true, in almost every jurisdiction, that is a big one. Now, I'm not sure. Now, hold on. I'm not sure. And y'all are going to need to fill me in.
Is private student loan debt wrecking your life? You
I'm not sure. You're going to need to fill me in.
If this happened in Canada or in Kuwait. But if this happened in Canada, she could have some serious consequences. That's very true. So here's what we have. We have proof here, proof positive, of Foodie Beauty soliciting a donation for saving the cat.
Yeah. PayPal for saving the new kitty.
So PayPal.
Let's hope that what happened to what happened with BBJ doesn't end up happening to the new cat.
.me/ Foodie Beauty, PayPal for saving the new kitty. So she is clearly soliciting a donation. This is not like ambiguous. This is a straight donation. It's trade solicitation of a donation for the cat, right? But I do believe these organizations were unaffiliated with her. Unaffiliated to the point that they actually filed a complaint against her, right, in Kuwait. That they actually had a complaint filed against her this month on the 2nd. So this is an actual legal consequence. So to be fair, guys, seeing there was a complaint actually got me most interested in this because there's an actual legal filing, right? So now it's not just drama anymore. You have a complaint. You have an actual thing filed against her, right?
Yeah.
It's objectively true. It's not drama. It's not anything. It's objectively true that she had a complaint filed against her. So I can say that it's just true. It's not defamatory. It's not me making fun of her weight. It's not any of that. It's just, okay, objectively, she has this filed against her. So I want to talk to you guys about charity fraud. So in the West.
Yeah, charity fraud, West. In the West, such as the United States or Canada, charity fraud requires some sort of deception. Fake charities, misrepresented charities, impersonation, diversion of funds, taking charity funds for personal use.
In the West, charity fraud is something that, and this is for Canada, U.S. generally. Once again, I'm an American lawyer, a Florida lawyer, but this is generally true in the West. Charity fraud involves some form of deception. So a fake charity, a misrepresented charity, impersonation, or diversion of funds, taking charity funds for personal use. It appears that Foodie Beauty, Chantel, maybe have hit bingo on this. In terms of what this is in the West, she did almost all of these things. So
Yeah.
she actually said at one point, this is something else, I didn't think I added this to the PowerPoint, but she actually said that she had her own charity. Like I saw the clip of the post where she was trying to say that she had a charity. First of all, charities have to register. They have to have a license. And that's a huge thing. You can't just create a charity and say, oh, no, I have a charity now. That's not how that works. So that's a fake charity. Misrepresenting that you are associated with the charity. She did that with Lost Kuwait. And you can put that in with impersonation if you want to. Either way. She pretended she...
Yeah, all right. Well, that's about it. That's about it for me. So yeah, that's legal mindset. That's definitely something. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I will see you